Hi guys, it's like early morning in India. I'm in Bangalore after 8 years and I have all those amazing people around me and I call them soul family. They give me a home wherever I am and that's amazing. So I just spoke to a student in Sri Lanka and he messaged me today early morning and to be honest, I feel really sad now. I feel like crying. And since for weeks I'm trying to be more seen, to be more heard on radio, to be on TV. And I know all those people who could support me and like help me out there. And even other people, I'm not just talking about myself, to be like, especially women, to be heard and seen. And now this student is texting me and saying, would you do a session with me? How much do you charge? And I'm like telling him my fees. And but then I'm realizing, hey, this guy is a student, he's in Sri Lanka, how could he afford me? And of course there are people I will support him, I will not charge money, but I will make sure that I get an exchange, some energy exchange. So even if he does some social service, I'm fine and I'm happy with it. So long story short, so this guy is saying, I'm Christian, so I feel like having sex all the time. I'm masturbating, but it's too much and I feel ashamed because I'm not supposed to have sex before getting married. I'm 22, I'm struggling a lot. I had girlfriends, but I know it's wrong. And how are you married? And I'm like, why would he ask me if I'm married? Because I know Asian guys, they like to hit on me. So I got a little suspicious, but then I realized, hey, this guy is really seriously concerned because he has some severe issues, struggling with himself and being a man and about sexuality. And I know in Asia, religion is very dominant. And I know parents following certain rules and also trying their best. I'm not saying they're doing it purposely. I mean, of course, parents want the best for their children, but at the same time, they're doing what they learned from their parents. And just because 3 generations before us, they learned something in, I don't know, maybe 1600, 1700, it doesn't mean we can apply those rules and knowledges, like experiences, in 2018. We changed, the world has changed, religion has changed. I mean, we are more empaths, we are very aware of things, we know what's going on, we have social media. So now this guy is saying, can you please help me? And I said, okay, I'm going to do a video because I want to reach more people. So I do the best I can do and I will talk about it. And what I can do is, like, he was asking, how do I cope with it? When I was very young, I used to love dancing. I would go sneak out of the house, I would go dancing. And my foster parents, they're like very, very strong Catholics. And they wouldn't like me to hang out with guys, right? So from the age of 9, I would just work at home every Saturday. I wouldn't play much with other children. And when I turned 12, so I was more in the house than I was outside, and that in Germany. So, but still, I did love dancing, and it's my passion, and I love music. And there's nothing more beautiful on this earth and frequency than having music and listening to it and connecting with other people. So I sneaked out, and my punishment was that they wouldn't talk to me for 1 week. And I felt really sad, I felt abandoned, I felt not lovable, I felt like I'm doing something wrong even though it made me so happy. And then a few years later, when I was 19, that was the first time I had sex. I didn't put much attention to it because my passion was dancing. And when I went to India, that was very significant because that was like seriously, putting an impact on me, because I wouldn't see guys and girls hanging out. I would see guys and guys holding hands, like, walking around on the road like this with a little pinky finger. And it was not allowed, and even in Sri Lanka, it wasn't allowed to kiss a guy in public or to hold hands. So of course I stored all those memories, and at the same time I had a boyfriend, and that's when I actually tapped into sexual energy and all that. And then I had years which I would just have sex with guys because I wanted to be loved and to connect with someone. And I would do things which I didn't want to do, which I just did, and I wouldn't think about it, being totally naive and hoping for being loved by someone. And the last year I had, 4 years ago, I had a boyfriend in Germany, and he had some issues, so he wouldn't sleep with me for 1 year. So my body started paining. I had all this urge of I want to have sex and I can't have it. So of course I did lots of sport, but then I realized, hey Agatha, if your body starts paining and this guy doesn't make you happy, you should look after yourself. Of course I pleasure myself, and there's so many people who do it. So it's not a sin. I really want to tell you, it's not a sin to satisfy yourself. But the question is, if you can't balance it, so there's something off, right? So then I started working on myself. I released lots of codependencies. I released all the cords, the wires which I had to other people, which they would absorb energy from me. And also the definition of sex was for me, I want to have it with someone I love, because it's deeper, there's a connection, there is more fulfilling. It's like the energy is rising. Sexuality is something very holy, it's sacred. You're creating an energy and portal while having sex with someone you love, because it's a heart-to-heart connection. And the porn industry is making use of so many of us. I mean, I don't watch porns, but I did when I was very young. So that energy, that sexual energy, is a life force. It's helping you to be creative. It's helping you to be in your power. So it's very important for you to take that energy and put it into something you really love to do, which you would normally not do, but because you're not allowing it yourself, or your parents wouldn't be fond of it, what you're doing. So what I want to do is just give you like a little, like 1-2 minute cutting cord session, which you can do right now. Also the breathing is very important. It's very important that you connect with your heart. Close your eyes, breathe into your mouth, hold the breath for a little bit, but push it down to your tummy, like the tummy has to come out, and breathe out with your mouth. That helps you canalizing all the energies. Also what's important is watch your food. Eat healthy food, fresh food. Get lots of air, do sport, but don't be all in your head. Ground yourself. Go for Z-bath if you can. There's also something called tapping. It's like from kinesiology. You can tap your acupressure points here. You can keep tapping them. You can watch videos. There's so many videos out there. It's called EFT or Fred Gallo, EDXTM. You watch those things. Please tap yourself. You can help yourself. Go dancing. Make yourself happy. Make sure that you're satisfied in life. Eating food which you love. Doing things which you love. But meet friends which make you, hanging out with them makes you happy. Have a good laugh. So that sexual energy, that urge, it's like drinking, smoking cigarettes, and it's an addiction. It will become less and less and less and less. But most important for you is to be happy. And I want to tell you one more thing. Yes, religion is telling us we should get married and then have sex. But seriously, if I love that person and maybe the sex is totally off and we are not connecting at all, you don't want to get married to that person, right? So please, there's so much rules and pressure out there. Do what's right for you. Listen to your own inner guidance. Don't listen to other people. I know we're upsetting our parents, but if our parents see that we are happy, they will reconnect with us. I'm not doing what my parents tell me to do. I will do what makes me happy, and when they see I'm happy, that's the great part. They will follow my footsteps and they make sure that they are happy. Because once I remember we have a big garden and we have a beautiful apple tree. But I was too short, I'm a girl, I couldn't lift that stick and I couldn't reach those apples. And my mom, obviously she couldn't help me, she is much more older to me. So then I called a friend which is tall and I said, can you please help me come over and get all those apples down? I want to bring it I want to get those apples down, which I can't. So I was very glad and seriously happy when he came, and he was just in the garden helping me, and then he left. He didn't even come to the house, whatever. And my mom walks into the room like a commander, like an officer, looking at me so grumpy, and I'm looking at her and asking what's happening, and she's like, oh, you're sleeping with all those guys. And I'm like, no, he's my friend. And then I said, please leave, I don't want to talk to you. I know none of you would do that because it's respectless. But you know what, she was hurting me, and she said things which are not true, because in her head, from her understanding, from her background and her culture, she thought I'm sleeping with all those guys. So 1 week passed, 2 weeks passed, and I went to her, I said, you know what happened there? Why did you talk to me like this? And then she said, you know what? I wasn't allowed to have male friends. And I said, why not? And she said, she was only allowed to hang out with women. I said, okay, but we are in Germany now, and we are in a different time frame. So I'm not sleeping with them. They're my genuine friends, and I love them very much, and I'm so grateful they're helping me. And she looked at me, and I said, you know what? You can have male friends. You can go out there. I mean, she was 70 that time. And now, so many years down the line, she's hanging out. She's having male friends. And she's actually very happy. We had many fights. And I was always scared, that if I do something which upsets her, she might fall sick, because that's what parents sometimes do. They say, because of you I have heart pain, because of you I'm feeling so sick, oh, you're giving me headache. What the fuck? I'm sorry to say that, but it's not my duty to make my parents happy. It's their own. They're supposed to look after themselves, right? Yes, they helped me to grow up, but in the end of the day, they have to make sure they're happy, and I have to make sure I'm happy, because I'm not them and they're not me, and I'm the ones who's making the way for other people to follow me. So yes, we had many fights, and yes, we had many arguments, but I'm so glad I was brave enough to do so, to support myself, to trust myself, and to stand up for myself, because my mom changed, and she's much happier than she used to be. And all I want to say is, if you want to satisfy yourself, please do so. It's not a sin, it's normal. And why should you sleep with a woman you don't love just to have pleasure? Also, make sure you're happy, that you're doing things which makes you happy, even if your parents are not giving you like their blessings for it. They will eventually, because they love you. It's just that they're not used to it and they're scared of changing. So don't be scared of changes. Be brave. Be you. Just be yourself. And if you get married because you love someone, not because you want to have sex. And yes, religion, to have faith, it's important, but it's more important not to follow a priest. Sorry, okay, I will tell a story now which is so crazy. I went to a beachside and I had a beautiful swim, and we were sitting in the restaurant having dinner, and I ate some pittu with honey, that's like a Sri Lankan dish, and a priest came in, like a monk. And then I told the manager, because we were talking, I said, why don't you invite that monk to our table, because the whole restaurant was empty, and even the driver. I don't want people to sit alone. If we can be all together, it's nicer, right? It's like sitting with family at the table and having food. So then I totally forgot I'm not supposed to sit with a monk, and then he just did like this, and then of course I understood. I was like, yeah, sorry, I didn't want to be rude. The next day, all of a sudden, he sees me and he's being all very nice and kind, and I'm like, what's happening all of a sudden? 1 week later, I'm getting a message from the manager, and he's saying, you know what, madam, because I said I don't like that monk, something is off. And I couldn't tell why, but there was something which was really weird about him. And that manager said, you know, madam, we saw the monk in the middle of the night. There was a lady in her undies staying at the balcony, being with the monk. And I started laughing. I said, good for him. I said, but that's how religion is. You know, just because a monk, a priest, whoever out there makes rules and creates rules, doesn't mean they're sticking to them. So please, you have to use your common sense. You have to make sure that you're happy. And whatever you do, it has to come from a place of love. And love is always right. Love is never wrong. And if you want to marry someone you love, and they're not in the same caste or they have a different religion, please make sure that both of you have an understanding, and everything else will fall into place. So many people have done it. My father is German, my mom is Sri Lankan, she's a Buddhist, my dad is Roman Catholic. And they got married 67 or 76. And you know what? They were married till the end, and they did really love each other. Yes, there were some cultural boundaries and difficulties they had to face, and that was like so many years back. If they can do it, we can do it. I can even sometimes see myself like judging people. I don't want to do that. I want to be like my parents. I want to be brave. I want to be open-minded, and I want to see people for who they are, not because they have a certain religion or a certain skin color. So please, if you have the urge to have sex before getting married, please do so if that girl also wants it, or if the guy wants it, and there is a mutual understanding. And of course, make sure that you use condoms or protection. I mean, you don't want to have a child when you're not ready. And of course, you can pleasure yourself if you want to, and if you have the urge. And make sure that you listen to some meditation, you dance, you connect with nature, and if you're happy from inside, even that sexual urge will be more mild, okay? So I do hope it did help you. So I would just do some cord cutting. Just close your eye, breathe into your tummy, breathe out through your mouth 3 times, and then just say, I'm cutting all the cords which connect me to people who are depending on me, which I'm depending on other people. I'm connecting through the true source to Mother Earth and Father Heaven. I am very much loved. I can feel the love, and I'm allowing love to spread free to my system. I am proud of myself. I am brave. I'm free. I'm allowing myself to be free from all the religions, implants, imprints, blueprints, vows, promises, contracts. I'm releasing myself from all the contracts, spokenly, unspokenly, knowingly, unknowingly. And then just imagine you're being in a flame of blue light, violet light. It can be rainbow color flame. And then just imagine that all the cells, because the cells are having a memory, that it all gets burned out of your system, so your body cleanses, and you will feel that your aura is stronger and you feel more free, and that there's less tension on your mind. and you can visualize lots of golden rose color, rainbow color coming into your aura, into your body, and reaching and filling up all your cells, your organs, your muscles, your bones. And also try to get as much as light as you can, because your glands need sunlight. They will be activated and will help you to be more balanced, because all the hormones are connected with the glands, and that's also connected to psychic abilities. So you can hear the squirrel in the background screaming. Yeah, so I'm not the prettiest today, but it doesn't matter. I just hope it did help you. Please spread the video. Help me to help you to help yourself. That's more important. That make sure you're happy, okay? Love you very much. Bye, guys.